Good evening. Disturbing new connections tonight between the crash of that cargo plane in Los Angeles laden with nuclear materials and the emergency landing of another cargo aircraft in China this week. Your News Tonight has learned that highly enriched uranium has also been found on the second cargo plane, the one that was forced down by bad weather in the Chinese coastal city of Xiamen. U.S. officials are concerned that this second shipment was also headed to the United States. Your News Tonight correspondent Ava Webster has been following this story and joins us now from our bureau in Beijing. Ava, what do we know about where all these nuclear materials came from?
Catherine, so far our sources indicate that authorities in the U.S. and China have been unable to determine the origin of the highly enriched uranium on these aircraft. It's also unknown if the materials came from the same location. We know that the plane made a refueling stop in Myanmar before the emergency landing in Xiamen. The crew is reported to be from Central Asia. Chinese authorities are questioning the crew about the origin and destination of the nuclear materials. Sources say this may not have been their first shipment of materials. Flight records show that the plane had carried cargo originating in multiple Asian countries over the last 6 months, and that the United States was sometimes the final destination on these trips. That's about all we know at this point.
Thanks, Ava. The discovery of the nuclear material on the second downed aircraft has been fueling speculation that the weapons-grade uranium was bound for terrorists working inside the United States for the purpose of building a small nuclear bomb or explosive device. But where did the nuclear material originate, and who was behind the plot to smuggle it out of China? For some insight, we are joined live by Michael Roberts of the Nuclear Research Institute in Washington, D.C. Welcome, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you for having me, Catherine.
Is this a major terrorist plot underway to hit the U.S. with a nuclear weapon? Are these two events connected?
Catherine, we are extremely concerned about both of these events. There have now been not only one, but 2 incidents involving highly enriched uranium. This is extremely rare and very disturbing. And what we need to do next is try and analyze samples from both of these incidents and see if those samples can be matched.
Where could these materials be from?
Well, first, I think it's important to highlight that there is extensive cooperation between the United States government and the government of China, and they are working together to try and find out the source of where the material comes from. There are potentially 3 sources where the HEU could have been stolen from. It could have come from Russia, it could have come from Pakistan, and it could have come from North Korea. In the case of Russia, there is no longer any cooperation going on with Russia to secure loose nuclear material, and Russia has a huge inventory of weapons-usable material. In the case of Pakistan, there are extremist groups inside Pakistan that we have to be concerned about. And then regarding North Korea, we know that they have highly enriched uranium, and we don't really have a lot of insights into their facilities and their capabilities.
We're learning that the crew is from Central Asia. Does that say anything about who could be responsible?
Well, yes, I think we have to investigate that further. As you may recall, there were press reports and actual smuggling incidents last year from the region of Central Asia. There was smuggling from and through the country of Moldova, which has very weak borders. So in general, this region is a gateway for illicit trafficking of nuclear material, and that highlights the concern regarding smuggling of these kinds of materials.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you for having me.
In other news, new polling shows the race for the White House tightening up.